Alright, today we got a very special project. What's up? I'm Dave. Welcome back to whatever this is. Today we are doing something, well, not that different, but different enough. Today's project starts with this book right here. It's called Feck. Let's get in the frame. Feck Perfuction by, wherever, James Victore. If you don't know James Victore, he is a graphic artist based out of Austin, originally out of New York, and poster design is kind of his big thing. I guess you could say I've taken a lot from James as far as inspiration and motivation and whatnot. And this book is a great book, and it's basically like a bunch, oops, don't lose my page. It's a bunch of independent little snippets, not all, but mostly with little illustrations or things relating to some poster designs that he's done. But what we're doing today isn't exactly about the book, rather it's about what's not in the book. My glasses are all smudged. Actually, what today is about is what James has coined as the Feck Challenge. There are a lot of illustrations in this book, a lot of pictures, a lot of whatnot in the book. However, there are a couple things that don't have illustrations, a couple little stories that don't have illustrations, and his challenge to us was to take one of these and turn them into an illustration and then submit it and call it the Feck Challenge. I took that into account. I said, yes, I want to do this, James. I am up for the Feck Challenge. I'm going through the book and I'm trying to figure out which one I want. This is not how I go through the book. Number 36. That's not an actual page number. Number 36 is action, action, action. It says here, the world is brimming with would-be authors, dancers, entrepreneurs, full of bright and innovative ideas, holding the future of creativity inside of them, blah, 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 can't read very well. Most of their ideas will never make it to market and their talents will remain silenced. The biggest reason for this is too much thinking and not enough doing. Too much worry, not enough action. It goes on, but I don't really need to go on because you get the general idea. If you paid attention to this channel or any of the channels where I publish stuff, you know that this is very much a thing for me. So on this video, we are going to make a poster representing action, 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 or at least just action. Let's go. So let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about what it is we want to do with this project. Say we as if you're helping me, but you are helping me because you're here for support, right? Now with this challenge, I want to do something that is very much in line with my own work, but I also kind of want to get a little bit of flavor of Victore in there. I want to have a little Victore flair. I've got this idea about what I want to do with the text, with the word action. It's going to be interesting, but we got to get it printed out first, and then I'm going to scan it in and do some wobbly thing with it in the scanner, and we're going to go from there. So first things first, we need to create a little page here in Photoshop. It's standard 8.5 by 11. All I want to do here is create the word, not in that color. Maybe I'll capitalize the A. And I don't need it too big. I'm just doing this to print it out. Not gonna care about kerning or anything like that. Let's print this. What? Oh. Take this in here and I'm gonna scan it into my scanner, but I'm gonna do something funky with it to see if I can't get an unusual effect. We'll see. First one came out pretty cool. That's pretty rad, if I must say so. But I want to try it a different way too. The second one came out pretty cool too. I might use them all. I'm gonna see how these all play out. So let's move to the screen time. What? Okay, so here we are. Back at it, and I go here. This is when I scanned it in the first time. I thought maybe it would get some coloration because of the way that the scanner was open and whatnot, but it's not, so I'm not gonna worry about that one. This one, which was really cool, I really like this, and I think this is kind of gonna be the base for everything else. This one was when I just moved it up a little bit, up and down. I don't like that one, so we're gonna get rid of that one. This last one is so cool too. I'm not sure how all these are gonna play out just yet, but I do need to make some alterations. If you can see, like some of these, like this gray area here is where I was lifting up the paper, and over here is when I moved it off the screen. I might be able to incorporate some of that into the actual work itself. I'm not 100% sure yet. What's more important is that I need to get the action off of this page. The best way that I know how to do this is by turning it into a channel and then creating another layer and then moving that into the main layer. I'm going to duplicate my layer. I'm going to change my levels to, I'm going to darken this up and get rid of as much of the gray and unnecessary stuff that I don't need. Change my brush to a hard brush, all white. Oop, come on, come on. Increase the size. Just painting over the edges because that's where all the stuff is. I just need, well, I'm not even worried about that because what we're gonna do right now, this is the quickest way to take what is like a big flattened image, especially if it's grayscale, turn that into its own separate layer that's been broken out. It's all white and black right now. Gonna change that, Command I or Control I maybe for PC, turns it to white or black on white. Go here to the channels panel. I'm gonna Command or Control. I don't know if this is exactly how it does for PCs, but just bear with me. Command, click. You can already see my dancing ants. Go back over to the layers, create a new layer, and then by hitting Option and Delete, I am going to fill it with the foreground color, okay? Now, gotten rid of those other layers so you can just see the one, and you can see, even if I go here, let's try a brand new layer. Let's convert this to gray or RGB so we can see, don't merge. Oh, and I like that. I like that it got this little bit of grit going on there. So I changed this to yellow just so you can see what's going on. Filled that background yellow, I can put it to blue. Basically the point is that this is a standard layer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and carry this over. I'm gonna Command, hold it over, take it to my main document, and when I hold the shift, should drop it right in there like that. Now it's obviously it's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna back that up and I'm gonna change the size of my image. Let's just go and do this the smart way. 12 inches. 12 by 18 is usually what I do most of my posters at, so I might as well just do that. So let's try that again. Carry over. Holding the shift, doesn't really matter. Shift just kind of puts it right dead center where it was in the original. Still a little bit big, it's working pretty good. Now, if I wanted to go back here, get rid of all this other stuff, I want to get this other stuff in here. This grunge, if I want to get this grunge in here, I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did. I created a new layer, I'm going to go to the brush, I'm going to paint out the action. Reverse the color again. I can pick any one of these really because I changed it to RGB. No big deal. No big deal. Just keep moving. We'll just go ahead and make it black because we can always change the color later. Now I've got this as an individual layer that can be moved around. And again, same thing. I'm gonna hold it, shift and hold. Just gonna resize it a little bit. Just resize to fit. So I've got this layer if I want it. I don't necessarily need it, but I've got it. I'm not getting rid of anything yet. I'm not gonna destroy anything yet. I'm not one of these guys that are in that camp of like, no destructive layers. Like everything, just like they keep every single layer, keep everything pristine. And I'm like, who cares? You know, some of this stuff's it's gonna end up getting flattened anyway. Maybe if I hadn't smashed them together, I wouldn't find any happy accidents like I did when I changed it to RGB and I got that little grungy thing going on here in the action thing. I wouldn't have found that. I like to destroy some layers once in a while because it brings about new ideas. Back over here to this one, we don't need that. I'm not gonna delete it. All right, so this has got some grungy stuff on the outside too. I don't really need that so much. I really wanna focus on the action. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of some of this other stuff. Levels, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it up a little bit. Same thing. Switch, Command I, I'm basically inverting the colors. Going back to the gray panel, Command and clicking that so that I get my dancing ants. New layer, this time I'm hitting Control or Command and delete, and that fills it with the background color. Take that layer, hold, drag it over with the shift. Another reason to do it with the shift is sometimes if you just drag it over, it goes off the page and you're not sure where you left it or whatever sometimes. So shift is good. So there we go. We got all these different options here. We've got that action. We've got a little bit of the grunge. We've got this action. And then of course the main one, which I'm probably going to redo again because I stretched it when I stretched the canvas. The one thing I can't get used to with the new Photoshop is that when I would used to constrain something to hold it in place, I used to hit the shift, and now it's like you don't have to do that. In fact, if you hold the shift, it does the exact opposite of what you expect it to. It's something I haven't gotten used to yet. I kept it, I can switch it back, but I just haven't changed it. It doesn't matter, I got the job done. All right, so I'm probably not gonna finish that one just yet because I've got other things I gotta take care of. I gotta go pick up the kid from school. Before I get into that, there's one other aspect of this that I wanna talk to you guys about, and that's the motivation behind what I think action means. So if you've been paying attention to anything else that I do, any other things that I make, any other places I hang out in, one of the things I did was I wrote a blog post and it was all about me finding my opinion. What I mean by that is finding my opinion on the state of things. I used to be very political, almost to a fault, where people started falling off of my social networks and whatever because they were tired of hearing me complain about the current political situation. I'm still very political, but I have learned to kind of control what I say, not because I want to quiet myself down, but because I realize that it's not benefiting the other sides of my life. That said, I still have a viewpoint. I still have things to say. But instead of just coming with negativity about the current administration or what I believe or whatever, instead of that, I've decided that I'm going to start expressing myself about these things, but in a way that benefits all sides. Now, how do I do that? The truth is, I'm not 100% sure, but what I've been thinking in my head is what I need to do is bring people together. Find ways to bring people to the table together to talk about this stuff, or just encourage community involvement no matter what side you sit on. Left, right, red, blue, doesn't really matter. We should all be able to have a decent conversation, come to the table for these things, or at least understand that the way things change, the way we get things done, is by getting involved, stepping up, doing the work, making things happen for ourselves and for our community and for everybody else. So now the messages that I want to portray are going to be in that nature. For instance, encouraging people to vote benefits everybody on all sides. Letting people understand that your vote actually does count where they might not necessarily have believed that in the past. Hoping people will understand that based on some of the things that I create is the goal. So if I'm making art that encourages people to do those things and gets them involved and gets them active, then I've done a good job of what I'm doing. Plus, I still get to express myself creatively, I get to voice my opinion, and I get to help people. So that's another reason why action is a very important word for me right now. But the action I need to take right now is I need to go pick up my son from school. While I'm doing that, you can watch the rest of the video of me making the poster. Okay, so it is the next day. You know it's the next day because I'm wearing a hat. I hope you enjoyed that little poster process. I know the last part of it, the building of all the thing, is going super fast. But you get the general idea. Most of it is just composition and how I work through things, and I don't really have a formula for that. I can't explain necessarily composition except for I'm just looking for balance. I'm looking for balance, I'm looking for color and line, I'm looking for the different design elements that mean something to me and hopefully mean something to you if you were so inclined to buy, because it is now available. You can actually go to daveconrey.com, over to the art underneath the posters. I'll link to it in the description. You can go check it out if you want. It is there available for you. Now, it is a poster. It's available in a couple different sizes, and it's not cheap because it's actually a really high quality poster print, because I only use high quality poster prints. But how do you print your stuff, Dave? This is not an advertisement. I just wanted to give a shout out to the company that does all my prints for me. It's a company called Printful.com. They allow me to print whatever I want on demand on pretty much anything I want. I can do poster prints, I can do mugs, I can do shirts. I don't really do all that other stuff. I just do the poster prints because it's what I like, it's what I enjoy, and so that's what I offer up on my website. I also have it up on the Etsy. If you want to go check out Printful, there's a link in the description below. You don't have to, but they're a really cool company and I appreciate all the effort, and so I just wanted to give them a little bit of thumbs up, high props. High five. If you do happen to have any other questions about my process, about how I go through my design theory and whatnot, just please just ask them. Go ahead and post them down in the comments and I will address address them as I see fit. If there's something specific that you think would benefit the entire group, ask it and maybe we'll make a future video out of it. If you really wanted to get my attention, go ahead and make a comment, but make sure that you like this video and then share it with somebody. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You know how to do this, folks. It's so plain and simple. Everybody in the video universe knows how. Hit the button. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. I have to go brainstorm what the next video is gonna be, whatever this is. Remember, be good today, be better tomorrow. See ya. I'm gonna finish this canvas someday.